Alexa, start na ako ha. Huwag na kayo maingay. Hmm. Hello. Good evening, everyone. For a while, I'll just get my earphones. Hello, who's with me? Alright. Well, good evening to those who are watching tonight. I see some who just logged in. Thank you for being with me. This is the first time after many months of being sort of inactive on producing video content. I've been very busy writing, as you know. Hi, Bernard. Thanks for being with me. So, as promised, I said that I would go live every Saturday from 8 to 9 p.m. for free book coaching. You heard it right. You will have this free book book coaching with me for an hour every Saturday. I thought of Saturdays because that's when we are not really, busy and wow, busy. We are here in the middle of the pandemic. I don't know who else is busy here. Well, tonight we will have a very wonderful discussion, and I will be entertaining a lot of questions from you if you have. Once again, I'm Ayo Gutierrez. I'm your book coach for tonight, and we're going to talk a lot about conceptualizing, writing, self-publishing, and marketing your book. Anything under the sun when it comes to book writing and book publishing. Include the book marketing as well because that's very important. Now, I think that, in the last 3 months, we have had the best time of our life as far as not being busy is concerned. Prior to the pandemic, prior to the lockdown, because right now Cebu is on a strict lockdown again because of the rising cases of the infected here due to the coronavirus. So anyway, in the last 3 months, we can no longer say that we didn't have any time for us. Prior to this, we've been wanting that somehow we could rest, we could find time for the things that we would want to do. And now it's here. And the question is, what are some of those bucket lists that you have had in your life that you've been dreaming of to do? And now you had 3 months. I hope that in the last 3 months you were able to do some of those bucket lists, right? Some of the items in your bucket list. And now let's talk about, as we say hi to my friend Lorraine. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for coming here. If you have questions, okay, you can start typing so we can just go. It's so hard to talk to the camera when I have no one to talk to. I'm really used to speaking on the stage with my physical audiences, but it's we are adjusting to the new normal here. It's not that I haven't done this in the past. I did. I had a show on TV, but somehow, after some time you have to brush on your skills again. Okay, first of all, let me just invite all of you to please, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Go ahead and click on my YouTube channel. That's Ayo Gutierrez TV. I have embedded there some of the links from my previous activities with video content such as Travel Art TV, some of the interviews that I had, some of the people that I had interviewed, as well as some poetry reading right there. We were just when you're just a newbie, you wanted to try a lot of things until such time you want to narrow down your focus. So there. Also, if you haven't followed and liked my Facebook pages, I'd like you to encourage you. Take some time, like a minute right now. Go to GMGA Publishing. That's GMGA Publishing. And also the marketing arm of GMJ Publishing, the outlet, which is the Poets League. So anyone out there who's into poetry, who loves to write or who's dreaming to write poetry, or, you know, if you love writing, just go over these pages and like and follow if you want. As for my YouTube channel, I am producing videos that relate to writing, okay? Writing. So there you could see like 2 to 3 minute videos, really short ones, direct to the point, some of the best learnings, tips that I can share with you. And I'll be populating that with more of relevant content, such as, you know, rules of writing, or I would be inviting some author friends to join me during live interviews. I hope I could get J.K. Rowling to be with me, or the rest of the, you know, I really love, what do you call this? Sci-fi, YA, fantasy. I'm an avid fan of those books. Children's classics, anything under the sun, actually. I read a lot of books every day. Now, okay, let's go to our topic, right? The book, all right? Like I told you, it may never come again. This, according to the things that we are reading on the news, the forecast everywhere, we will be experiencing more of this stillness, of this being quiet, you know. So one of the things that you can really do right now is to include in your bucket list to write a book. You know why? Because you may never have this time again. It will take some time, probably another big crisis to hit us, the entire globe. But you know what? Stop praying about having more time. You have the time right now. So please include in your bucket list that you will write, not just write, okay? Not write, but you will write and publish a book. That's different, okay? A lot of people started writing books, but then over time, their manuscripts are rotting or gathering cobwebs in their drawers or attics or everywhere, and they have totally forgotten it. So, you know, we have the technology. You don't need to store them there. It's there on your computer, on your laptop, on your cell phone. You can even write a book on your cell phone. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of ways to do it. And if you're the traditional type, you know, you haven't lost your preference over writing with your hand, because sometimes I do that. I write both ways, using the laptop and using my cell phone. That's what I do. All right. So now, question is, why am I encouraging all of you? Why am I encouraging all of you to write your book? There are several reasons, and people have different intent or desires. But maybe I'll be telling you more about my personal experiences with my books. Well, number one, some people find it so cool that you have a book. Really. If I ask you and you learn that someone has a book, diba? Parang ando dun yung wow factor. Really? Like, he's an author, she's an author. And, you know, we tend to remember people, especially those whom we follow in certain industries. They become more credible. They legitimize themselves in their industries because they are able to publish their own books. Like, it's a living proof. It's the new business card. Like I used to say, I keep telling in my seminars, webinars, that the new business card right now is no longer that small paper, right? It's already a big one like this one. Your book is your business card, new business card, and it's more effective because it's not like when you receive a typical business card, you read the name and the contact number, where the person works, and then you tuck it away, right? Like, unless there's a collaboration or a cooperation going on, it's gonna happen. But with the book, you give it to someone, okay? For example, this almost is the same as never book. You give it to someone. When I give this book to someone, the conversation doesn't stop there, okay? almost immediately when I part ways from people, especially with my husband, because he's actually the main author of this one. I supported him. Okay, but when he every time we would part ways with people whom we have given the book, they would call us, they will message us, and they will tell us something about the book. So that means to say it's a way to continue the relationship. And in fact, it's the best way for other people to learn about you, because what you write is who you are, right? So as simple as that. Now another thing that one of the reasons why I am encouraging you to write a book is because also it is another source of passive income, active and passive income. Gone are the days when you say there's no money in writing. Okay, because I tell you, there's just a lot of people I can call right now. I can tell you those who have made it big in writing and publishing. And mind you, this is not traditional publishing, but the superstars of today are those who are self-publishing, because they are the ones who are in control of the future of their book. And I'm going to talk to you about that more. So once again, this is Ayo. If you have questions, please just feel free. If you have any comment or objections to what I'm saying tonight, I want to keep it short, like 30 minutes, so that we can squeeze everything that's important in our discussions. Okay, another thing is writing a book is a way for you to share a passion, to share your knowledge or wisdom. It's so hard to reach a global, it's so hard to have a global reach when, it's a lot better when you have a book, actually. And then you already have all these social media platforms. You have your YouTube, your Instagram, your Twitter. And just recently, because of my social media marketing class, I learned about Snapchat, right? Where millennials are. And of course, the YouTube channel. So there are a lot of ways that you can spread your ideas, like TED Talk. See? Especially if you have the book, especially if you have a book of yours that you can share to others around. Because when you put your book online, everybody can reach it, so long as there's this online shop is delivering to these countries, to other countries. Then you are rest assured that you can reach the person to the wherever they may be. And lastly, and this is my favorite reason for writing a book, is this: I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a legacy. I don't want to leave the earth without making a dent. Or kasi just recently, it's a personal thoughts, like my insight. Think about the people in history and those who live great lives. Diba, we have this tendency to remember them even if they are gone for a long time. But how about us? It's important to ask ourselves, what if I die today or tomorrow or right after this video? How will the people remember me? Remember me, M-E. Alright? So, I guess that's the best way to leave a legacy is through your book. If not for everyone, why don't you just write for yourself? Or write for your children? Or write for your husband? I write love poems for my husband. For my children, I also write poems. So it all depends on what you want to write. Okay? But the point is, just imagine, your generations to come. They haven't met you in person. They don't know. And if you don't leave any crumbs behind, if you leave this world, how can they know how great an ancestor you are, right? So, you see. Well, Lester said, okay, I'll jump right to one comment here. Lester said, I have the desire to write po, but I am not that confident. Okay, that is always the case with everyone. We are struggling with this confidence issue. There are a lot of reasons why we are not confident. And one of the things when I was starting, mind you, even if I graduated, even if I took mass communication arts back in college. I studied at LaSalle. I still had this, doubts about myself. I still doubted myself if I was that good enough. And if I was writing, I would, edit every now and then. Like I would spend hours on just one page, and I would trash a lot of things. Like 10% of what I have written, 90% was crossed out. Only 10% remained. That's how, that was me a long time ago. I looked at other people. I read about their essays. I encounter a lot of people who are way, way, way better. They're like this. They are the Olympus type of writers. They're really great, amazing. And I'm going to compare them to me, like, what am I? Who am I? What's my, what is my right to write something? Okay? So yeah, when you are dealing with the feeling of confidence, know that you are not alone. Even seasoned writers, I tell you, still go through this kind of phobia. Still go through this kind of disbelief in themselves that they are not good enough. But one thing that you can control really is how can you get from that point where you are not confident to this point that you will gain confidence. And I talk about this in one of my YouTube videos. I said there that confidence comes hand in hand with competence. Okay? It's good. You have to master some confidence at first to get you started. All right? That's the important thing about confidence. You just have to get started. And then when you get started, it means that you are doing something. But according to, who said that? I'm asking my son. Who said that if you're making a mistake, it means you're out there doing something? Neil Gaiman. Okay, he said that. So the thing is, as you go along and make mistakes, that's when, you start to become competent because you are trying your best to learn how to do it. Okay? Now, the only thing about this confidence and competence issue is sometimes we are so bogged down by the technicalities of how to write a book, about the editing, the grammar, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you are a Filipino. We are so, what do you call it? Conscious about our grammar, about our accent. So that's it. Even in writing, we tend to adopt that kind of mentality. So I tell you, Lester, the first thing that you need to do really, if you have the desire, that's good enough. That's good enough. The second thing that you need to do is, now that you have the desire, you have to get started. That's just the way it is. You cannot produce a book without starting one. I have friends, some of them my friends. I know some people who are dying to have their own books, but year after year, it's the same goal over and over again. And they'll say, next year when I'm better. So nobody gets prepared. Nobody is prepared until you really plunge into the task and do it. So confidence issue, the only way to do it is just do it. And then you will have confidence. And along the way, if you continue with that thing, then you will become confident. Let me know if I was able to address your concern, Lester, or should I say more about that? Yeah, but that's the thing. In fact, let me just tell you my personal experience. When I started, this is my debut book. This pretty book. When I started this, I had no connections. I didn't know any one of these writers. No, I didn't know them. They are famous. They are award-winning authors. Some of them are Phil-Am writers living in the United States right now. But that desire I had back in 2000, what year is it? 2020, 2000, 2016. After I got, after my delivery, sa aking bunso. That's when I started writing, and I had the desire to write a book. So within 8 months, what I did was, I just did it. I talked to these people on Facebook, contacted them individually, all 17 writers. I sent them a message and they responded. See? So sometimes our fear is stopping us from our success. So don't let that happen to you. If you have the desire now, the next thing that you need to do is, which is my favorite, one of my favorite principles in writing, is you have to set and follow a sacred deadline. I work with deadlines. I am not this kind of, I'll do it next month, or I'll do it, when I have the time, when things are, when I have this confidence, or I have this inspiration. I don't work that way. I force myself to do the task, no matter what, even if I am ready or not. And if I say I will publish this in 3 months, I will do that. So let's say today, I have set deadlines for my next book. Okay, and one is coming out in December, and the other one is coming out this third quarter. And I write specifically the date. The date. It's important. Because you know what? When you have the deadline, you will be conditioned and you will gain the discipline to do it. Yeah, that's the beauty of having a deadline. Okay, now, some of you, do you have other questions? Those who are listening to me? Let me just look here. Am I going too fast, or just... I'm still navigating the icons here on our Facebook Live. So anyway, those who have just tuned in, thank you for watching. This is Ayo Gutierrez, your book coach. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. That's Ayo Gutierrez TV. And you will see, or you will watch, the relevant content about writing. I talk about writing, about book writing, book publishing, and everything. Book marketing, most especially. Now, let's go to what can you write, or what will you write for your book. Okay, that's also important. You see, one of the things that you can do is to come up with a brainstorming. You have to do a brainstorming activity. Ask yourself these questions. Okay, number one is, what am I good at? Okay, so what are your specific skills, talents, abilities? Some of the things that are unique to you. What am I good about? Number two is, what am I passionate about? What do I love doing? You see, it's a different, what am I good at, and what is the thing that I love doing. Those are two different things. It means to say, what are some of those activities that you do that you don't need any push or motivation, any outside forces to tell you to do it. It's just automatic on you because you love doing it. Okay, what is that? Is it drawing? Is that conversing? Is that selling? Or, I have a son and he's so passionate about the ants. Like every day he would just go out and look out for their colonies. But what surprised me is he doesn't just love the ants. He studies about all of these ants. And I get lost in translation whenever he talks about the specific species of this plant, of these ants. Like, Mom, there are 10,000 species of ants. Mom, this ant, you know what this is? And for me, when I look at the ant, they're just the same. Okay, either they're just red or black. But basically, all ants are the same for me. But for him, it's a sacred topic. For him, he would he would go at length explaining to all of us, to his siblings, to me, what this ant is, what's so unique about them. So what are you passionate about? Okay, those are very important things that you need to ask yourself. Do you love to dream? There's so many unique things about ourselves, and that peculiarity, that special thing about you, will give flavor to you, to your voice as a writer. Okay, so take note about that. And number 3 is, this is also important. Tell me about, what is your work? What are the things that you are getting paid for? Alright? It means to say that if people are willing to pay you for that, it means you are providing value. There's a certain value that you offer that others don't. So, what is your work right now? Where is your vocation? What are your advocacies? But most especially, what are the things that people are willing to pay you for? So that goes to say, yun yung ano mo eh. You hit it right in the nail, because there goes your mind, there goes your heart, there goes your experience. All together will make up for a very substantial content for what you're going to write. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Especially for those who are thinking about writing a book, beginners for one. Okay, but then again, so you have to do this brainstorming activity. You write it them down, and I'm sure you will have a long list. I tell you, there's just a lot of things that you want to talk about. But remember these two things when you choose which one to write first. Okay, you may have like 10 ideas, but I want you to choose the one, okay, based on the following questions. Number one question is, what is that idea that you will most likely, what is that book that you are most likely to finish? Okay, what is that book that you are most likely to finish? Because sometimes there's this dilemma, and it is a bad habit to start with. You start with a lot of ideas, and then you feel so overwhelmed. What do you call this? Like you have this, there's this word. You get so excited with so much gusto that you want to write about everything under the sun. You have 10 topics all together writing them. But I tell you, you have to prioritize. You have to prioritize, because it's important that when you set a deadline, you really finish the book. Do not ever start something without finishing it, especially with writing a book, because the repercussions are so deadly. Trust me. Because when you don't finish it, you start a habit that you are not a finisher. Once you encounter a stumbling block, like, I don't get inspired at all. Like, I don't like this topic anymore. I just don't have any ideas anymore. Wow, that's a big one. So, again, remember that. Do not do that. So ask yourself, even if I like this, so what am I passionate about? But how soon can you finish this? And how likely are you gonna finish it? Okay, how soon and how likely are you going to finish it? Because writing a book is a tedious undertaking. It's not easy. Really, it's not easy. I don't want to think that it's easy. It becomes easy when you have a system to follow. Okay, it becomes difficult when you don't have any method at all. And probably I'll be talking about that in my next Facebook Live. Alright? So that's it. Next is what else would I want to talk about? Okay. So again, one of the things that can help you finish something, because that's the goal. The goal is to start and to finish. One of the secrets or the key elements so that you will be pushed to really go for your goal is you get an accountability partner. Accountability partner. Who is that? What does that mean to have an accountability partner? Okay? You need someone to know that you are writing a book. That someone should know when you are going to publish that book. Okay? And that someone should be bugging you enough so that that person will remind you every now and then, like, where are you are right now? So, how are you progressing? Are you on track? You are already lagging behind your schedule. You need that someone. And for me, that someone is my husband. Okay, my husband is my accountability partner. In fact, a few years ago, I think more than a decade ago, when he told me, you write your book, you publish it. And I said, I'm not yet ready. He said, okay, I'll give you like 2 months. Really? 2 months? But I was able to do it. And the next thing he did was, he organized this book launch here at SM Cebu. It happened to me. And my friends came and I was so happy. Dream came true for me. And several years after, fast forward to today, 3 years ago, it happened again. Because I have someone to remind me of my goals. That is very important. Okay? So, you know the saying about goals, when you have a goal, you have to declare it. If you keep it to yourself, most likely, it's not that you will cannot achieve it, but you know, you will be pressured. There's this pressure for you to do this because you already declare it. And it's not really about bragging. It's just about you wanting to make sure that you are able to achieve your goals. Okay? So, you know, when you write a book, there's just a lot of lessons along the way, experiences, and it's just a different life altogether. You know, when you are a reader, you read a lot of books, you come across different lives, 'di ba? Ang dami mong kakilala. Suddenly, you were able to live a life of a nurse, of a firefighter, of a widower, of you know, the different kind of people. So sabi nga nila, when you are a reader, you're so engrossed with the material, and everyone is just having their living their same, you know, same lives. But here you are, you have just gone through a traumatic experience with a fictional character in the book, and they don't have any idea. But the thing is, your life is enriched after that, isn't it? You know, when I read a book, sabi nga, I read a quotation that says, when your mind is stretched, it doesn't go back to its original dimension. The same way goes to how our personality and our character are changed or are enhanced when we read books, really good books, you know. Naiiba yung ating perspective, alright? You tend to have, you tend to understand people more. You become more sensitive, you become more accepting because you know for yourself that there are people have different issues, and the people have different views about things. So you tend to be really to show empathy, right? You have that, you can show empathy because of that. But baka nabubulol. Okay, any more questions for my from my guests tonight, those who are watching me? And I talked about why is it important that we take this time to write our book. You know, probably in the next 3 months, we're still here, stuck in our homes. I mean, we can, or even if we want to go out, what else is there? No, what do you anticipate that you will see outside? Nothing. So, we're just in the comfort of our homes. I know you've been binge watching. I know that because I'm doing that once in a while. I'm watching Netflix as well, and that's a plugging. And those things, but make sure you do something worthwhile that you will be proud of. Something that will give you an advantage. That's something that will add to your credentials. Start building, you know, yourself through writing a book. Okay. So, if you don't have any, I'd like you to really throw me some questions so that we can keep the discussion going, and I would know what is in your mind. How can I help you? If what stage of writing are you in right now? Okay. So again, you know, sometimes the best thing really, because I also have this stories in my mind, or actually written on paper, that I have stuck some places. No, I've already hidden them, never touched them for many years, and I'm thinking about going back to all of this old files. I suggest that you can also do that, but use the technique that I told you a while ago. That it's better for you to start anew. Come up with fresh ideas. There's just a lot of things. You know, the thing about book writing, the same with any business, is the same. It's really providing value to your readers. That's the most important thing. Last night I was with Doc Gigi Sunga. She was my webinar training guest last night. And she talked about these things, no? Sabi nga niya, ano yung mga pwede mong buksan na negosyo amid the pandemic? Because right now, e-commerce is big. The other businesses are really down today. So maganda pag-isipan natin to, and that only confirmed to me that I am doing the right thing, that I am on the right track. In the last 3 years, it's been a lot of hard work, really. But I'm sorry, really, my dear friends, it's a lot of work for me. I have a full-time job. I have 4 kids. I have other things going on in my life. Super busy life here. But I made sure that I understand my goal. My goal is not just to write a book, but I really want to establish myself in this industry. I want it to be my career also, to become an author. And in the last 3 years, it's been a lot of hard work, just creating those social media platforms, trying to engage people, collaborating with people internationally. Those are really daunting tasks at first if you're going to start out there. Especially if you don't know any connection, you don't have any mentor. Like most of the things that I learned were self-taught actually. I would spend sleepless nights so that I could join some free webinars given by other authors living someplace, in other places. I did all of those things. I read a lot of books about how to write, and I still doubted myself. I still don't know if I'm that good. But hey, after 3 years, here I am with more than 15 books already. And people come to me and they ask me to collaborate with them. They ask me to that I could be if I can be a special guest on their book, if I can write the foreword or write a review, if I can also interview them. So you see, it's just it's the vastness. There's just a lot of possibilities when you go for this. I didn't know this because, like I told you, I have no relatives. I have no friends who are authors when I was growing up. I really didn't know anyone. So I told myself I just have to do it myself so that I would, live to tell my own story to those who would want to hear or would want to navigate this tricky, something it's tricky really when you are starting. But if your heart is here, then everything is possible. You know what? Those some of the things that I didn't know before, now I know, and I have proven it to myself that it's possible. It's possible to become a bestseller when you're a self-published author. It's possible for you to get people to feature you on their podcasts, on their YouTube channels. It's possible that you can market yourself by the use of this wonderful technology. You don't need to have a big name first. That's what I learned. Imagine those people. In my social media marketing class this week, we're studying about those who made it big on YouTube. And I saw the list of top 10 YouTubers. And, I figured those who are most viewed, most liked videos, actually, they are just, not just, I will not say just, but they are simple videos, not complicated ones, na ginawa lang nila sa bahay. They set up a really good place. Parang ganito lang ginagawa ko, di ba? There's nothing professional about what I do. Even the lighting is not that really good. And I don't know about the audio. Hopefully you are hearing me right now. And that's just it. Lakasan na lang loob, di ba? You have to trust yourself that you can do it. Before you feel like you are faking things, you feel like you are trying to what do you call this, fool people, because you don't know where you're really going to. But now, at some point in your life, you're gonna get it. At some point in your life, you're gonna make the mark. At some point in your life, people will start believing you. Okay? So again, babalikan ko lang, ang pinaka-core foundation of all of these things is really the faith in yourself. That's it. If you believe in yourself, you will be unstoppable. You will be unstoppable, I tell you. No amount of bad feedback, no amount of naysaying, or people trying to tell you that you are not that good. No amount of those things will actually affect you if you have an indestructible belief in yourself. Sabi nga ng asawa ko, banggitin ko daw siya. So, I'll talk about Erwin in a few minutes. That's my son. He's writing haiku poems. I influenced him, right? And my daughter also is writing some poems, and they're on their way to finishing those manuscripts, and we will publish that before the pandemic is over. Okay, anyway, about my husband. So, just to tell you, writing is also for non-writers. Writing a book is also for non-writers. Because sometimes you think that you are not that good. Sabi naman niya sa akin, may permiso ako, my husband is not really a writer. He is not. He doesn't even know a lot of things about grammar, syntax, blah, 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 poetic device, everything. So he doesn't know those things. But what I love about what I love most about my husband is this indestructible belief in oneself. I tell you, not even me can really break down his self-belief. No, not even. Wala sa kanya yan. Kaya when he said that he's gonna publish a book, a decade ago, medyo, I kind of really teased him, or I put him down, like, what right have you to write the book? You don't even know how to lay out it properly. You know, your grammar is really that bad. I said that to him. But guess who, between the two of us, who published the book first? It's actually my husband. It was him who published this book, and this became a bestseller. Imagine that. A non-writer. That's why he would tell me, sometimes he would tease me, oh, so how is your yearnings doing? This is my poetry book. And I keep defending myself. It's because some people, not a lot of people are into poetry, so that's just my excuse. But the thing is, he's able to prove to himself that he can do it. Of course, with my help, because I am the editor of his book. But that's it, my dear friends. Do not ever doubt yourself. You can do it. To this day, I can tell you, I will admit it. I am not a good writer compared to those who are really good. Totoo yan. It's just that I'd like to think that I'm a very hardworking person, and I am extremely resourceful. I am dedicated to my craft, to my art. That's it. Yun lang siguro. That's why I give more time for me to improve myself. I'm more after improving my writing. Because sometimes, pag nandiyan ka na, it's just about producing books na lang, no? It's not about the quantity. It's about you making a brand about yourself, how you are as a writer. So, ngayon, aminin ko talaga, in terms, I haven't written a novel. I'm still writing it. And I have this still, the voices keep popping on my head telling me, hey, are you good? Like, is that really the right way to do it? So I keep hearing voices like that, but I try to shut them off, no? So that I could continue with my work. So that's it. Indestructible belief in oneself. It's extremely important when you are starting in this career. This is a career. So make sure that over time you will learn to love yourself. You will learn to love what you are doing. Okay? Ang dami ko na sinabi, parang ang bilis ng oras, no? It's already 42 minutes. And I think I have to wrap up this live natin para hindi masyado matagal to those who will view it once again. Okay, as we close, again, I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. Okay, yun naman sinasabi ng mga book coach inyo palagi. Everyone, your mentors will tell you, you know what, you can do it. But really, you have to tell yourself that you can do it. And when you do that, make sure that you will really do it. You respect yourself. How much do you love yourself? How much do you respect yourself? You owe it to yourself. When you leave this world, do not leave without a dent. Sayang naman yung buhay mo, diba? So many good things have happened to your life. You have touched a lot of people. You have uplifted them, inspired them. Please make sure that you will write about those things that will make your generations happy and proud that ikaw ang kanyang lolo at lola. Diba? Leave a legacy. Sabi ko nga, ang aking they call this tagline. This is the tagline of GMJ Publishing. This is ink your legacy. Ink your legacy. There are many ways to leave a legacy, but I am advocating that people will ink their legacy through their books. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do go to Ayo Gutierrez TV and please subscribe. And if you are that generous, share my YouTube channel to your friends. And if you haven't done so, go to my Facebook pages, the Poets League. That's where writers are. That's where I put my anthology projects. And this is actually a shout out to those who are poets who are writing poetry, if you want to try out for my anthology project, which will be participated by 100 authors worldwide. It's going to be a big project, and I'm positive that it's going to be a bestseller. So mind you, if you want to be a part of that, then gather your guts and submit your entries. Who knows, you could be one of those 100 poets that will be chosen. And lastly, if you haven't done this, also subscribe or like my GMJ Publishing on Facebook. Okay, dear friends, thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate all those who are watching me, all those who will be sharing this video to those people whom you think will be needing this kind of rara sis bomba, our pep talk, right? So sometimes all people need is a little push. Even eagles need a push, sabi nga. Kahit yung mga magagaling, kailangan din nilang i-motivate once in a while because sometimes they don't know how to do or start things. So that's it. I wish you well. Once again, this is Ayo Gutierrez, leaving you with these words, ink your legacy. See you on my YouTube channel.